Okay, so tomorrow you have a quiz on sections 2.1 to 2.3. There are 2 assignments on Canvas that you can use to study. Neither of them needs to be turned in. The first one says quiz review, and it's these pages right here. These are all just screenshots from your textbook. Remember, you can get the answers to these problems that are highlighted. They're the odds. There are a few even questions that we ask you to work out. So again, we've provided those answers in the solution file, but you can either use CalcChat or you could log into WebAssign, scroll down to the bottom where you can get your textbook, and notice this little box here that says answer. Remember, you can just click on it. It opens up like a little drop down and it'll tell you the answer to the problem. So again, all of these are screenshots from your textbook. You can use this to study. And then there's another assignment that says domain practice. And that is also on there. It's more additional problems where you were given equations. Remember, you should always start out by thinking your domain is all real numbers. The only time that it would not be all real numbers is when you have a variable in the denominator, and you would have to figure out what would make that undefined by setting that not equal to 0. Also, when you have a square root in the numerator, then what you would do is set that to be greater than or equal to 0 when it's in the numerator, because we don't want any imaginary numbers, so it always has to be positive. And then the other time you would check is when there is a square root in the denominator, it has to be greater than 0. It can't equal 0 because it would make it undefined. So on Canvas, there's these 2 separate assignments. I did post this solution file in both. There is also a link to Mrs. Boyd's YouTube video for both of these where she worked out the problems. So again, 14 questions tomorrow. It is on Canvas. It is on Lockdown Browser. I will be giving you a piece of paper. It'll be an answer sheet where you can do all of your work. But then your final answer is what's keyed into Canvas. Remember, when it's a multiple choice test like this, there is no partial credit. So choose your answers wisely. I will have office hours tomorrow morning, even though it's a Wednesday. And I will also be here after school today until 3. So if you do find that you have other questions that you didn't get a chance to ask right now, come see me after school or tomorrow morning. You can always screenshot questions and email them to me. As long as it's not super late, I should be able to get back to you. So quiz tomorrow on Canvas, 14 questions, all multiple choice. Also keep in mind when you're choosing the answer choice for the graph, and let's say you're not sure, always just pick random X's and plug it in and see if it's the coordinate is on that graph. That's always a good test taking strategy. I always like to plug in zeros if it's actually touching your X or your Y axis. Remember, that's how you can find intercepts. If you want to find the x-intercept, replace y with 0. When you want to find the y-intercept, replace x with 0. So just different little tricks. So, and that is it. Quiz tomorrow. You'll have 40 minutes for the quiz.